The studio lights of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson glowed warmly that night, but there was something different in the air, something quieter, heavier. Backstage, John Wayne stood alone for a moment, adjusting his jacket with hands that had once seemed unshakable. The man they called the Duke had faced outlaws, wars, and the wide-open frontier on screen, but tonight he looked like a man facing something far more real. A stagehand gave him the signal. Out on stage, Johnny Carson flashed his signature smile to the audience, but his eyes softened as he spoke. "Ladies and gentlemen, my friend John Wayne." The applause was thunderous. Wayne stepped out slowly, each step deliberate. The crowd rose to their feet, not just for the legend, but for the man. Carson met him halfway, shaking his hand, then gently placing a hand on his shoulder as if to steady him. They sat. For a moment, neither spoke. Carson leaned in slightly, his voice softer than usual. "Duke, it's good to see you." Wayne gave a faint smile. "Good to be seen, Johnny." The audience chuckled, but there was a tremor in his voice that didn't go unnoticed. Carson tried to keep things light at first, stories about old Western sets, horses that wouldn't behave, directors who demanded too much. Wayne played along, delivering his lines with that familiar rugged charm. The crowd laughed, the tension eased. But then Carson asked gently, "You've been through a lot these past years. How are you really doing?" The room fell silent. Wayne looked down at his hands. The same hands that had drawn guns in 100 films now rested quietly in his lap. "I've spent my life pretending to be a tough man," he said slowly. "But life, it doesn't care much for pretending." No one moved. "I've lost friends, lost time, and I've learned something," he continued, his voice growing softer. "It's not the fights you win that matter. It's the people who stand with you when you can't fight anymore." Carson nodded, his expression no longer that of a host, but of a friend. Wayne turned slightly toward the audience. "You all made me who I am," he said. "Every cheer, every ticket, every moment you believed in me." His voice cracked just enough to make it real. "And I just hope I gave you something worth remembering." There were tears now in the audience, in Carson's eyes. Carson reached over, placing his hand firmly over Wayne's. "You gave more than that, Duke," he said quietly. "You gave people courage." Wayne exhaled slowly, as if letting go of something he'd carried for years. For the first time that night, the applause wasn't loud. It was deep, steady, and full of respect. As the band began to play softly, Carson didn't rush to a commercial break. He simply sat there beside Wayne, two men sharing a quiet moment in front of millions, one saying goodbye in his own way, the other making sure the world listened. And under those bright studio lights, the legend faded just a little. But the man became unforgettable.